Ciao ragazzi, adesso studiamo i verbi irregolari al tempo presente in are. Okay, we're going to work on are irregular verbs, and you will see that the first one, it's an adverb, which is avere. So it doesn't match. But the reason for that is that a couple actually pick up the same sound, and because avere is the very first one you learn, I put it in here anyway to help you with the sound of it. Okay, so we're going to learn dare and stare. Dare is to give, stare is to stay. But I wanted to show you how they sound a lot like avere. Ho, hai, ha, abbiamo, avete, hanno. So dare is do, dai, da, diamo, date, dan. With an accent, make sure you have that, otherwise it means from. Stare, to stay. Sto, stai, sta, stiamo, state, stanno. So that's why I put in avere, although it's an adverb. So dare and stare. Once you know avere, you know dare and stare. Same sounds. So let's look into this. Stare. Sto, stai, sta. Stiamo, state, stanno. So we have expressions with stare. Stare bene, stare male. So it's to be well or unwell, in that case, male. Gli studenti stanno zitti. The students pay attention. Stare zitto. Gli studenti stanno attenti. So stare attento. My subjects here were plural, so I put the correct ending of the adjective. So that's stare. Sto, stai, sta. Stiamo, state, stanno. Dare. There's supposed to be an arrow. I guess it's not working out. So do, dai, da with an accent. Diamo, date, danno. There are only two expressions that I point out here. So dare da mangiare, to give something to eat. Here I have my classic example where I want you to pay attention. La mamma da with an accent. And now it's going to get complicated. Okay, so da, perfetto, da mangiare ai bambini. So, you see you have the same word twice, and that's why it's very important to put the accent on dare, so it is clearly different from the preposition. La mamma dà da mangiare ai bambini. And dare un esame. It's actually to take an exam, but in a way you actually give that exam because you give me the information, everything that you know. So dare un esame. Two more of these irregular verbs. These are very important. So andare, to go. Vado, vai, va. Sorry, va. Andiamo, andate, vanno. So you can say vado a, I go to do something. So if what follows is a verb, you'll have a plus infinitive, or in or a, depending from the location. In for country, states, a for cities, small islands. We learn prepositions separately in a different unit. Fare, to do or to make. Faccio, fai, fa. Facciamo, fate, fanno. Faccio, fai, fa. Facciamo, fate, fanno. Faccio, fai, fa. Facciamo, fate, fanno. So this is my list of expressions with fare. Fare has lots of expressions. So in English, they usually are either to have or to be, and we have some of those, but fare picks up a lot of them. For example, fare una passeggiata, to take a walk. You actually take a walk. We make a walk. Or fare un picnic. Fare la valigia. It doesn't literally mean I make the suitcase like I stitch it up, but it actually means I pack the suitcase. Fare un viaggio, to take a trip. Fare la colazione, to have breakfast or to make breakfast, depending on the context. Fare patinaggio. This will be for several sports. Here it is skating. Fare la spesa, to go shopping. Mostly food shopping. So, more. Fare una domanda, to ask a question. Fare una foto, you take a picture. So, in some books you actually find take a picture, prendere una foto, that is not correct. If you actually take a picture in the sense of clicking on the camera and getting your picture, that's fare una foto. If you prendere una foto, you literally take it. So you go to the store and you take it. Someone gives you a picture, you actually take it. But in the producing the picture, actually being the person who takes it, it's fare, because you make it. It's a work of art. Fare schifo. Oh, it's disgusting. Fare schifo. Che tempo fa? What's the weather like? You can answer fa bello or fa brutto. Okay, so that's it for my irregular verbs for today. These are irregular verbs in are. Ciao ragazzi. Adesso parliamo dei 3 verbi modali, the 3 modal verbs. Volere, potere, and dovere. These are very hard working verbs. They could be at the present, past, future, subjunctive, whatever you need them to be. And they are always followed by an infinitive. Unless you use volere, which means to want, or you might just want pizza, and not necessarily an action that follows. So, of course, then you might have a noun. But when there is a verb, then you need the infinitive. Volere means to want. Voglio, vuoi, vuole, vogliamo, volete, vogliono. Potere, to be able to. You have the power. Posso, puoi, può, possiamo, potete, possono. Dovere, you have to. It is your duty. Devo, devi, deve. Dobbiamo, dovete, devono. Allora, voglio, vuoi, vuole, vogliamo, volete, vogliono. Potere, posso, puoi, può, with an accent. Possiamo, potete, possono. Devo, devi. Devo, devo, devi, deve, dobbiamo, dovete, and devono. Okay? Another irregular verb in ere, which actually appears all the time, is bere, to drink. Bevo, bevi, beve, beviamo, bevete, and bevono. Bevo, bevi, beve, beviamo, bevete, bevono, to drink. Ciao! So 2 tricky verbs, conoscere and sapere. In English they are translated as to know. They're actually slightly different. So conoscere is regular. Conosco, conosci, conosce, conosciamo, conoscete, conoscono. Sapere, also to know, sapere, so, sai, sa, no accent. Sappiamo, sapete, sanno. So let's go see the difference. Conoscere, to be acquainted with someone or something. So it could be, I know that city. But really, for the most part, you're dealing with people. Okay, so, I know Maria. So, tu conosci Carlo. Sapere means to know a fact. So, do you know that vacation starts tomorrow? Sai che domani cominciano le vacanze? Or to know how to do something. For example, io so cucinare. Io so l'italiano. So far, so good. There's one additional thing, which is in the past tense. For conoscere, it means the moment in which you meet someone for the first time. For example, ieri ho conosciuto Carlo. Now, I made this little arrow here because you have this I, conosciuto, in the past tense. You want to make sure you remember that. And it really means, we shook hands and I said, pleased to meet you. Okay, so it's that very specific moment. In fact, we use the passato prossimo, which is for specific things. So the meaning in the past changes a little bit. Sapere in the past is to find out. Ieri ho saputo che Maria ha passato l'esame. Yesterday I found out that Maria passed her exam, the exam. So this is the difference between conoscere and sapere. Ciao ragazzi, adesso ci concentriamo su 3 verbi che finiscono in ire irregolari. These are 3 irregular verbs that end in ire and they're very common. So, esco, esci, esce, usciamo, uscite, escono. And this is to exit, basically. It is translated in English as to leave, but it really means to exit. So when I leave the house, I exit the house. I leave the school, I'm not actually leaving it there, I am exiting from the school. So, it's irregular. Esco, esci, esce, usciamo, uscite, escono. You could go out with someone, uscire con. Normally, when you exit any place, is uscire da, specifically from the house, uscire di casa. Io esco di casa. Now, this verb is usually translated with to leave. There are 3 other verbs that are translated as to leave in English. We'll do one by one. So, partire. It's more like to depart. So you either depart from, you depart for a place, like, oh, I'm leaving for Rome right now. And con, with. Usually thinking tickets, airplanes, it's a big deal. Partire, it's that kind of leaving. Then we have lasciare, like to leave something or somebody behind. There's no preposition, that's what this X stands for. It could be you just leave your keys in the house, or you can leave someone, or you can, and andare via, to just get going. Come on, let's go away. Literally means go away. Let's go away. Let's get out. Va bene? So these are the 4 verbs, uscire, partire, lasciare, andare via, which are often all translated with the English verb to leave. 2 more irregular ire verbs that are very used. Vengo, vieni, viene, veniamo, venite, vengono. Just to come. Dire, to say. Dico, dici, dice, diciamo, dite, and dicono. To say that, you want che, and then your quote.